Hello, this is Enspeak, and this is a video introduction to my black hole mod. I've been getting some comments asking how to spawn it without being caught in it, so I thought I'd do that and then maybe cover some of the features. There will be another video showing some of the destruction of a ship, which is pretty spectacular. And so that will be in another video on the workshop. So to spawn in the black hole without getting caught in it, obviously first you need to have the mod installed in the world. And to spawn it, you can do one of two things. You can spawn it either in spectator mode, or you can spawn it in as the character and use the control and the scroll wheel to move it away from you. Let me show you the first one here. Normally when you start, this says predefined asteroids. You select planets, select 120 kilometers, black hole, spawn. Now you have this lovely wireframe. Let me go back into me. And so what you would do is hold down control and use your scroll wheel to move it away. Because if you spawn it here, you're going to be caught in it. You're not going to have any fun. You get it to about the size of your helmet and you should definitely be okay. If it's about that size, you should definitely be far enough away that it won't you won't be in the gravity field. Now the other way to do it is to, let me go back into spectator mode, and you'll have to enable that. I think it's off by default when you create a world, so you want to click that box in the world settings when you're starting the world. And then I guess first let's create a GPS point from where I'm at. Just do that, and you see we have that there. Then you just move your, let's get the lens flare out. Use the scroll wheel to speed that up. And move away. Whoop, I went too far. That's probably a little too close. That's pretty good, I'd say. And then let's go in and spawn this. We've got planets, black holes. Make sure this is 120. We'll spawn it in, and then I'm just going to turn around to give me that little extra distance. I can bring it a little closer to me. And boonk. There we go. That's kind of cool. So this is the black hole. Now if I go back, you can see I'm fine. I'm not caught in the gravity at all. So that's how you spawn in and not be caught in it. So this is the black hole. You can see some weird artifacts there. And what this does is basically it simulates, you know, the lensing effect. It's not an accurate, entirely accurate, but it's the best one can do in Space Engineers. And you can see the kind of the prism ring about it is, you know, also kind of like that. But it's cool. You can also see that reflected. And this is not something that's on the planet. These colors, these lights, these are actually reflections of the skybox. So if you change the skybox, whatever your skybox is what will be reflected. I just kind of like how it moves around. It really kind of does give it that kind of warped space feel to it. And that was the aim. The surface gravity, the gravity at the event horizon is 10,000 G. And that's where it's set right now. That may change. But the most important thing is that damage occurs at about once you hit 45 G, which tends to be around 115 or so kilometers from the event horizon. And then you have that long trip down the gravity well, having your ship torn away by gravitational forces, torn apart by gravitational forces. Now there are things I'm hoping to do with this mod. There are a couple things I want to do. I want to be able to get to a point where Once you get really, really, really close to the event horizon, probably 5 kilometers away from the event horizon, that the ship just basically blinks out of existence, so that nothing actually hits the event horizon itself, and that should save on some performance issue, solves a performance issue. Because you slam a ship into a planet at a really high speed and it's not going to be happy. That might be okay if you're doing it, at a vanilla speed, but people like to use speed mods, and the game doesn't like it. um, so that's one of the aims. And the other aim is to, because people use different speeds, to create a few versions of this, create options within the mod to be able to select a version that works with whatever speed you're using, or some speeds. A vanilla speed, a 500 meters per second speed, and a 1,000 meters per second speed. So that's the aim of what I'm looking to do with it in the future. And maybe eventually have a form of gravity that would be a little more surprising, but would also be something that you could more easily escape from using a jump drive. You can't do that with this because it's basically planetary gravity, and the game doesn't allow you to use jump drives in planetary gravity. So, that being said, there are lots of interesting things you can do here. I mean, you can park. Mainly this is here to be a roadblock of sorts, a space, a danger zone, that you want to either try to avoid, or you want to draw people in to try and create problems for them. Or you could, if you had enough resources, build a station that hovers in the gravitational field, if you had something to counteract the level of g's, because there's a large chunk of this space is 0.05 g, and then 0.06 g. You're getting pretty close to it already by the time you hit 1 g. um, I don't know exactly what that thing is, but because of the nature of the gravity fall off, you have a lot of space through which you can actually escape, or you can actually counteract the g forces. So you could hang out in this space, and it would kind of discourage people from messing with you, because they'd be caught in it, and maybe they wouldn't have the resources that you have to be able to counteract the g forces, which would make getting to you very difficult. So there's some interesting stuff you can do with this. So that's some of the features of this, and what I hope to do with it in the future, and some uses for it. Now in the next video, what you'll see is the destruction that it is capable of, and I hope you enjoy that. Thank you.